Hey, what's up, Isaac? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Eric. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. Where are you at right now currently? Is this
I'm
at your
located at UC San Diego, so
nice?
Airbnb as well, but I'm in San Diego, so it's a little bit of a different change for me, but I'm really excited.
Sounds good, sounds good. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you probably had to go to class later,
No
but
worries.
is it before we get started, is it okay if you could share with the audience like your back end, how much you're currently making, and then show them what you got. And how old are you right now?
So I'm currently 18 years old. I turned 18 in September, so I'm still a new adult within, this lifestyle and, this way of making money. But I'm really excited because I actually was 17 when I reached out to Eric, and he was very willing to help me even as a young person. So very, 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 very happy to take on this journey and also start Airbnb as someone, it's probably one of the youngest people, on the team.
For sure, man. You're definitely the youngest, and you're the one that actually take action. And I gotta say, your mom is a very, very nice and special person that know what you want and support you. So having that
100%.
mom is very, very blessing for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I
100%.
just had access for you to share your screen,
Yeah.
so I'll let you do your talk.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me bring that up real quick.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So do you like currently live in the dorm, or are you with like other students as well?
Yeah, I currently live in the dorm, but I'm located in a double.
Mm,
So yeah, it's definitely like a little different of a change for sure because I'm so used to like just living in like my own space. But it definitely gives me a lot of experience because I'm able to learn how to live amongst people, like
mm,
not just family, but I think that's like good experience for me in general too.
for
So
sure, for sure.
can you give me 1 second? It's asking for a confirmation code because it's linked to my mom's account.
Yeah,
Do that?
absolutely. No problem. No problem.
Okay,
I'll
just
pause
one
the
second.
recordings.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
All right, perfect, perfect. Now we're at your back end. Show me what you
Okay,
got.
awesome. So this is one of my newer properties that me and my mom took on collectively. And Eric was so helpful in this process. We figured out a lot of things.
Yeah,
And
we
just
did.
because it was actually our first property that we fully came in and furnished, it was a new learning experience. And Eric was there like literally every step of the way. So props to the man, Eric. But
Thank you.
also such a new property, but because of the way that we've, situated ourselves with this property, with our pricing, as well as just the way that we furnish the property in a sense, the property is doing very good. Even though November is more of like a slow month, we did have really good and big bookings, or actually put us in the positive, um, taking and subtracting the rent out. We are in the positive starting out for our very first month as well. And even looking into, these bookings, a lot of these bookings are pretty big and long bookings. Like Cynthia right here, as you can see. And then we do have Melody, Javier, just a couple people that really did, have these big bookings. And with the strategies that Eric, consistently teaches on his Zoom calls, he makes sure that he gets us right. And even looking into December, even though December is also a slow month, we do already have bookings for December, and these are some pretty nice bookings as well. Um,
Nice.
our beach property is one of those properties that Eric has really helped us with, and we're obviously looking forward to it because it's probably literally like the first month and we're already having bookings. And if you for a lot of the people that don't know a lot about Airbnb, you know, having this type of success in like the first month is something, and it is a feat in itself. So having a mentor that was able to get me there, and the property is already looking optimistic in terms of bookings and in the future as well, just because of this pattern that's already set. Really looking forward to it. And the next property that I want to show is the Nashville property. Let's see. So this property, it does have two different listings because we took this property um after or from a previous listing. So these little gaps are actually filled in, and I'll show you those little gaps on the other listing as well. So as you can see, We do have October was a really good month. These gaps are actually, filled out because they're on the other listing. So I'll show you that later. But we did have basically for Nashville a whole filled month. I'll show you the other listing as well. Because all of these are filled out as well. So just looking at even the past two, all these gaps right here, as you can see, they don't seem to be filled out, but when I show you the other listing, they're filled out. But this is just to show you the fact that we do get a lot of bookings. And I'll show you the fact that it is booked out on our other listing as well. And I actually want to show you this property too and its appeal, because the approach that we take is very different in that sense. So as you can see, those gaps that were located on the last listing are actually filled out by these gaps. And we actually this one is one of our most top performing property. It's always had like a lot of success. We literally took it on maybe about 2 months ago. So that's why when I scrolled up on the other, you couldn't see the other bookings, but this is what we took on, all these bookings. As we can see, it's been a very successful journey, taking on different types of properties. This one is located in Nashville, Tennessee, so it's kind of different from the change that we have from it being local, such as Huntington. But as you can see, these gaps all are filled out, and the occupancy rate on this property is very high.
I love it.
Yeah, and if you fill it in with the other calendar, it's basically full. So every single month we're in the positive. And yeah, it's just been a really great experience with Eric. He's always there to consistently help us. And as someone who started, just 2 months ago, it's definitely a feat, but it's a feat that was accomplished because we have people that are guiding us like Eric and a great community on our shoulders as well.
For sure, dude. I'm like so proud of you. 17, and you already have it's three listing right now, right? It's not really.
Yeah.
So you have another one. Can you just randomly pick one of them? I'm not sure why the system is showing $0, but just
Oh yeah.
something on
Let's
the
see.
weekends so that you see how much you're getting charged. I mean, how much your people are paying.
Oh yeah, see, like this is this booking is like a very solid booking
That's
for
crazy.
just a couple days. Yeah. Let's look at another one. Just try to find one that's a little bit longer. These are all like, this should be kind of the same. This should be kind of similar. 1, 2, 3. Maybe that was not loading. See if I can. Yeah, I don't know why it's showing 0. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it shows that on some of mine as well, but it's actually once you press it, it's different.
Yeah. Like this one was a nice booking as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and seeing that return once you put in a lot of work into a property, it's something that's fulfilling. I feel like a lot of people want to feel that sense of return of investment, but once you really get into like Airbnb arbitrage, you start to learn that it really does come down to like the systems that you have in place. That comes down to like pricing, that comes down to, even like the little details of the calendar. That stuff wouldn't necessarily be known to me if I didn't have someone that was guiding me on that. Like Eric is someone that you can just hit up randomly and he'll literally always get back to you. It's crazy. Like I don't know how he's able to get back to you so fast because personally,
I don't sleep.
yeah, Eric, he just doesn't sleep. Like I can hit this man up at like 4 a.m. because I've had situations like that and he has been there to help me. Being a host, it can be something that's scary if you don't have the confidence to enter, the whole environment of Airbnb because there's so many things that you may not know how to approach. Because at the end of the day, it also is like a hospitality aspect, but with such a great mentor and someone that's been doing this and has been through every possible situation that you can imagine, because Eric has been that guy to even go up to doors for people and help them out. This guy will be your solid foundation and your solid rock. I like to call Eric the Rock because with my mom, I refer to him as the Rock because he knows everything that's going on, and I'm fully confident in his ability whenever it comes to the most strangest occurrences. He's always there, and even though the strange occurrences, they barely happen. They barely ever happen.
Barely happened. It just got
Yeah.
lucky, but we
It never
fixed it.
happened.
We
Yeah. It's
figured it
just,
out.
but there has been like one occurrence, here and there, but they barely happen. And that's when you get, that's like a very small circumstance. But if that does ever happen, as with every other business model, because that can happen with every other business model, Eric is the man and he's going to be there for you the whole time. And he honestly treats you like family. It doesn't feel like you just, came into the mentorship and he's doing it just because you're part of the mentorship. He builds that relationship with you and he genuinely wants to know how you're doing and he genuinely wants the success for you, as long as he sees you putting in the work.
Yes, you had to put in the work, and you clearly you did. Can
Thank
you
you.
tell people how much you're making? I know it's kind of hard to have actual numbers. Like,
Mhm.
how much are you making a month right now?
It's
After the
basically
rent.
so basically in accordance with all like the three properties, that's probably about conservatively like 4K profit a month.
Pocket
So
profit.
yeah,
Like,
so we're solidly building up to that 10K mark because that I will ultimately want to get there by by like maybe like 3 months in 3 months. So that means acquiring new properties, but also too in the fact too, we are entering a slower month, but also with properties, the longer that you have properties, the more you're able to optimize their calendars, because obviously you have more of a stronger standing within the Airbnb algorithm, which means your property's been on the market longer. So the longer you have the property, that's when you start to see higher returns with time. So that's what I'm also looking forward to because even though it's just been 2 months, I've been able to acquire about 3 properties, but these properties are fairly new and just entering the market, you want to get those bookings. So you're not able to price as high as you are in
right.
the following months, but you just want, to get a solid foundation of reviews. You want to get the algorithm going. So obviously your pricing is not going to be super, super high, but as the months go on, I'm really excited to start raising my prices in accordance to the market as well.
Dude, it's crazy. You're 18 right now, and you're making. I won't say passive, right? No, we don't say nothing is passive.
Yeah.
But like, how many hours are you putting a week right now on this business?
Probably every day I put in about with me it may be a little bit different because I'm like very, very I'm always on the search for properties and I'm always every day I wake up, I'm so passionate about it. It's like the first thing I do. So I would say I put in about 4 hours a day. But that's just because like me myself, like I'm trying to scale. For me, it's a matter of scaling. I don't see this as a job because I genuinely have like a passion for Airbnb. Like it's something that genuinely interests me, and it more than it just being a way to create that passive income, you meet so many different people within it. And it's honestly like not like a job to me. Like you meet so many people,
Fine.
so many doors open with different real estate opportunities. You join Eric's group, you'll be open to the possibility of like learning how to leverage your tax, like learning like sub two, like you learn different deals, you meet different people. Eric brings in different speakers every single like meeting, and these speakers all have their own different professions. But however, these speakers that do have their own professions, those funnel into obviously scaling your Airbnb business. So aside from me working like 4 hours a day, realistically, as a person that's also going to school and as the person that, a lot of people that are working these jobs within Eric's group, you can honestly do it in about 2 hours a day. But obviously, most of the work comes in just responding to people, which is just basically just like a text message. It's nothing crazy. Like you're just responding back as someone would hit you up, and you're just doing that in a professional manner. So that's really where the most of the little scattered bits of responding goes throughout the day, but it's nothing crazy. I mean, honestly, you get your systems down in the beginning and you'll be fine.
For sure, for sure. Once you get to like 5 unit, you should just hire a virtual assistant. So yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
you should
That's
be
what I'm
good.
actually planning on doing. I feel like it does truly become less of a workload once you start making, so much money that you're able to hire like a virtual assistant. That's when you start to offload a lot of the work that you put in so you can focus on the main important aspects, instead of, just like the little work here and there. But overall, not a lot of work.
Got it, got it. Sounds good. Let's start from the beginning. What were you thinking of doing before you started working with me? And like, how
Mhm.
did you find me?
Yeah. So in terms of what I wanted to do, I've always had a passion for real estate. But I'd always seen like Airbnb arbitrage online, but I never knew how to break into that space. So I was just kind of kind of focus on like real estate in general. Maybe entering the agent side, or maybe, it had to do something within real estate. I've always been an entrepreneur driven person, and I knew that real estate was one of the most stable ways to get into that. I also have a passion for networking, so I knew that I wanted to do something that involved talking with people. Now, in terms of how I found Eric, this is such an interesting topic that I myself, you know, think that it was very, very meticulous and lucky that I found Eric. I was watching a YouTube video just because I always like watching entrepreneur YouTube videos as a source of inspiration. So I was watching one night, I was sitting down and I was like, I saw this one video from a YouTube entrepreneur, and he was interviewing other successful Asian entrepreneurs, which really resonated with me. I saw the title and I was like, wait, I don't really get the chance to like see a lot of Asian entrepreneurs. So I was really interested in this. And he was mostly interviewing people that came from different countries, people with different Asian ethnic backgrounds that really became successful in their own different aspects. And one of them was riding in like, the entrepreneur's car, and his name was Eric Chen. And he basically, I learned so much about Eric Chen because Eric Chen was entering Airbnb arbitrage, and he was this super successful, massively successful person in Airbnb arbitrage. And I was really just putting myself in his shoes. Like one day, like that can really be me if I really put in the work, and if I really, get this right, set my systems right. So I saw Eric, and he was riding in this car, and he was telling the YouTuber about his experience. His experience was basically that, he came and he was working at Din Tai Fung, and he really wanted to make a change for himself. He was a UCI alumni. He came from like that UC background, just how I'm like pursuing right now. And he was able to really scale himself and massively create this whole, system of where he was able to acquire properties by renting them and then making profit off of them, by listing them on Airbnb, Verbo, and other different places. One thing that really stuck with me is, in the video was Eric's, will to get over the challenges that he's faced in the past. I feel like Eric's a really good mentor when it also comes to challenges, because Eric himself didn't just get here, on that golden path, without any different, challenges and things to get over. Like for instance, Eric, he was doing crypto, and Eric actually lost so much money one day. I don't know the exact story behind it, but unluckily, I think it was stolen or something. I don't know exactly what happened. I can't really speak on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got hacked actually.
You know more story about me than myself.
Yeah, like that's crazy. And he lost like hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was like, that's like the worst of the worst that someone could financially, experience. But do that, just so you know the type of character that Eric is. Like he pushed through that, and he ended up becoming way more successful, and ended up, like making much more capital in the future. But that's, even though that's a side story, like that's just the type of guy that Eric is. He's not the type of guy to let it go. He's the type to work back. So he's that mentor that will push you as well. But yeah, that's how I found Eric. And yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I really appreciate that. So just like a few more questions, just to ask you, like, what type of people do you think is, will be a good fit for this program? What people are not? Because, not everybody is going to make it, right? No, we all honesty, everyone have different work exit. To be honest, back in when I was 18, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was still working in that phone. You're already crushing it, like, and you're already making $4,000 a month. Back in the days, I was barely making anything. So yeah, you're already like ahead of a lot of people already. So what would you say, like, who is good for the program and who don't even try? Like, I don't even want to get
yeah 100%. I really agree with you. I don't think this program is for everyone. This program is very set for a specific niche of people. And in terms of the program itself, I think the program is really a niche program for people that will make time, to really notice, number one, realize that they want more in life, or they have a mission behind why they want to enter this. It's not something that you can just randomly, like out of the blue one day, just be like, maybe I'm thinking of, trying just Airbnb arbitrage. It's more something where it's like, I want something more of my life. Like I want to make something more for my life, and I want something more for, my family, my friends, or just, I just want more for myself, or it's something where it's like, honestly, like I'm kind of, tired of my situation. I want to make something different. Or, it's just maybe this may be your first take on entrepreneurship. But in general, I think this group is really for action takers. Circling back to my point, this group really is not, you have to put in the work, right? It's not a get rich quick scheme, and because of that too, you learn so much, but you have to really be willing when those resources are given to you to really take time to resonate with that information. You can't just take that information and then let it off. There's so
Exactly.
many opportunities within this group, but because of that, why would someone want to give those opportunities if the person's just going to brush it off and they're not going to really take action with those opportunities? I will tell you, mostly everything is really just given to you on this plate. But if you aren't willing, to pick up that fork and to really, start grubbing in and start, tearing it apart with that knife, it's really not gonna work. So it's definitely for action takers. Someone that doesn't take action and someone that thinks that oh everything, even though everything's gonna be given, I'm just gonna just let it off. Like that's hopefully I'm gonna get there. No, like you really just have to really realize that you're the only person in the life that can change your lifestyle.
Exactly.
Eric can't do that for you. Your friends can't do that for you. Your family cannot do that for you. So if you have that burning drive to really drive change in your life and make something different of your life and open up hundreds of doors, this is the group for you.
For sure, for sure. Sounds good. I love it. We need to do another interview again in like 3 months, and we're gonna see a result. Like after
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
how much changes have you done? And I'm excited for you. And then
100%.
you're 18 and you're talking like a motivational speaker. Where did you learn that?
I love that. Honestly, I listen to like podcasts every single day. So that's where
That's
I really
good.
learned it. But I mean, I don't know. I really have like a network for talking to people. I mean, I really love talking to people. So, I mean, joining this group, I've been able to do that with a lot of different people from different occupations. So I kind of pick different little things out of talking to these different people and implement it into my own. So
Girl, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And then we're gonna look forward to your result in 3 months. I'll give you another interview again on 3 months and see how much
awesome.
from. I'm excited for you. I'm gonna go ahead and end this recording.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so